Hey friends, happy Friday morning. It is going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. Getting ready to head into the best job ever. Had a good workout at the gym, but I wanted to share something that was on my heart real quick. Something that I really, really hope blesses you. I've just been meditating this morning on just, I was talking about yesterday about how if you're a Christian and if you're sold out, it's not a matter of if you'll go through trials, it's when you go through trials. And sometimes when we go through these, sometimes they can be so overwhelming that we don't know if we're going to be able to get through them. But the Lord is so good and the Lord is so gracious that He will give us reprieves from our trials, so we can kind of catch our breath, until we go into the next one. And He's also so good at putting people in our lives that will just give us a word of encouragement. Because you know what, I tell you, I've been there. I've been just so down that I just didn't know, if I could make it through the day. And a brother or sister would just give me a word of encouragement, or I'd get a text out of nowhere and it'll say, "I'm praying for you." I tell you, there's nothing that encourage a brother or sister like something like that. But this is where I was this morning. I'm finishing up Acts 28, and I was in verses 11 through 15. 11 through 16, and I just want to read it to you. And it's talking about this very thing about rest that we need, about how God will give it to us and how He will put people in our past to give us encouragement, brothers and sisters, right? But it says, after 3 months, we put out to sea in a ship that had wintered in the island. It was an Alexandrian ship. But it goes on to say, we put in at Syracuse and stayed there 3 days. Once more, they had a 3-month vacation. Then they get to stay for 3 days. From there, we set sail and arrived at Riga. The next day, the south wind came up, and on the following day, we reached Puteoli. There we found, I love this, some brothers and sisters who invited us to spend a week with them. You just love that. Brothers and sisters, that's the hospitality just does wonders for the spirit. And this is where it gets good. It says, and so we came to Rome. The brothers and sisters there had heard that we were coming, and they traveled as far as the Forum of Appius and the 3 taverns to meet us. At the sight of these people, Paul thanked God and was encouraged. When we got to Rome, Paul was allowed to live by himself with a soldier to guard him. But do you just love that? At the sight of these people, Paul thanked God and he was encouraged. Now, let me tell you what. Now, this was a journey. It was roughly 69 kilometers or 43 miles that these people came. And there were believers in Rome because Paul had written. He had written a letter to the Romans, and many of the people there had been there in Acts 2:10 after Pentecost and had heard Peter speak, and so they had dispersed. So there were believers in Rome, and they traveled all this distance, 43 miles. And to put that into perspective, they were traveling, say, at a slow pace around 2 miles an hour. It roughly would have taken them about 14 and a half hours to get there if they were traveling by foot. And of course, if they had children with them, it probably took a little bit longer. But the point was this: they went out of their way, knowing Paul was there, out of their great love for him. They went 14 and a half hours traveling, and that's not counting the trip back. You know what? No wonder Paul was so encouraged and thanked God for them. So this is my point today, guys. There are people, we have brothers and sisters in our own community, in our backyards, our neighbors that need a little bit of encouragement today. I've had a lot of friends go through some deaths and some devastating things. And, here, brothers and sisters, they walked for 14 and a half hours. We should be willing to give up our time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is that God is calling you to do. Pick up the phone, send them a text, go to their house, give them a hug. I tell you what, doing that little bit of encouragement can be the difference in someone getting through the day or just wallowing in despair. So guys, I really, really hope that blesses you. I hope it encourages you. I hope it encourages you to pray today. Lord, who is it that I know that needs encouragement? Who can I call? Who can I text? Whose house can I go to today? What can I do for them to make their load a little bit lighter and to just bring a smile to their face? Guys, I really, that will truly just really bless someone. The good part about that too is when we encourage others, we ourselves are encouraged. So guys, I really, really hope that blesses you. I'm going to get into the best job ever. It's going to be a great day.